So, in this video, we will try to understand what happens after 18th January 2026. Because, as we discussed, there is a 5 planet conjunction on that day. Of course, on 19th January, also, you can see the same conjunction as a Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars conjunction, the 5 planet conjunction, the Panchagrahi Yoga, we say. And I'm seeing all these 5 planets are in Uttarashadha during this time. The Uttarashadha energy is activated basically on that day. So, generally, when this kind of things happen in the sign of Capricorn, you know, we look for a possibility of war. Even just before this Ukraine and Russia war started, there was a 6 planet conjunction in the sign of Capricorn that time, just before the war, before 1 month of the war. That's around, I think, 2022 February, right? So we'll try to make a video on that as well. The difference between that 6 planet conjunction and this 5 planet conjunction. And if you observe my channel, I also made a video that was, I think, 10th February 2022. Before that, I made a video saying on 10th February 2022, around that time, is a 6 planet conjunction and this is going to trigger a war, right? That kind of video is still available in my channel. In 2022 videos, if you observe, you could find that video. And see, here, of course, we gained a lot of astrological knowledge also during this time. So you may ask what is going to happen by this 18th January 2026. Is there any possibility of war? So there is some potential for war here also, but its nature is very different from the sudden chaotic conflicts of the past. So in mundane astrology, see, the cluster is seen here is a 5 planet conjunction, and there is a potential for limited war. And even recently, you can see US President Trump's recent military blockade orders against Venezuela, right? So there's some rising naval tensions in the east or Taiwan part. That's one flashpoint you can see from there. And the chain of factor is going to be very much important here, because on this 18th January or 19th January 2026, the 5 planet cluster sits in the first house, that is the Lagna house of China's foundation chart. China is treated to be a Capricorn ascendant based country. So this, you can see, there's going to be some kind of aggressive territorial expansion or a kind of major military show of force or something related to China, because it is happening in the ascendant of China itself. And Russia and Israel, so both nations have this particular 5 planet conjunction is suggesting an escalation of existing conflicts rather than a brand new one. But still, another important thing is the economic war would continue. So the trade war that we have been seeing for a long time, that's another thing. And basically this cluster is forming in the Uttarashadha nakshatra. Uttarashadha means the later victory, kind of the later invincible one. So any conflict starting after 18 January 2026 due to this particular 5 planet conjunction is not going to end quickly. It will be a long drawn out battle of some kind of endurance, where the winner is the one with the most discipline, you can say, not with the most weapons. But a winner of the war that is going to be started after 18 January is the one with the most discipline. And that is one thing. I want to tell you some more important things in this video. At the end, I will try to predict the most important thing. And here, see, there are some natural catastrophes like earthquakes, because historical records of similar Capricorn clusters point to a high risk of major seismic activity in the North India or Nepal region, and in the Arab world, right? And you can also see, you are already feeling in early Jan 2026 the record breaking cold waves. These are just the beginning. The second half of January is expected to bring some violent hailstorms and floods, specifically in the north and northwest part of India, like Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, this particular region. And another important thing from ancient texts like Brihat Samhita, I would tell you, when Capricorn is afflicted like this, then the rulers fall and armies suffer. This is a very, very general prediction that you can find in any version of Brihat Samhita, the translation of Brihat Samhita. So this conjunction marks a kind of change of guard. It's something like after 18 January, we will likely see at least two major world leaders step down or face a kind of resignation kind of situation, that kind of pressure due to this particular alignment. So, if you think who would be those two leaders, one can be Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, and another person can be the Philippine leadership, right? And there is another prediction out of this 5-planet conjunction, that is the France and Germany. These two would be impacted. The rulers of France and Germany would be impacted due to this particular 5-planet conjunction. And you may think, see, there are not so many malefics here in the Capricorn. I'm seeing, Mars is the only malefic here, Sun, Moon. Sun is treated as a cruel planet in Vedic astrology. It is not treated as a kind of malefic. Only Mars is a natural malefic, and Venus, Mercury, Moon, these are fine. Then what is a big event? Is it very, very big thing, this particular 5-planet conjunction? That you may get that kind of idea. But see, I want to tell you, one thing I want to consider here is the combustion factor, that is the sun's fire. And during this particular conjunction on 18 January, Venus and Mercury are combust. As we say, astangata, right? When a benefic planet gets too close to the sun, it loses its benefic qualities. That is a fundamental behavior. And Venus is related to peace and love. It becomes burnout during this conjunction. So instead of diplomacy, it manifests as jealousy or kind of social unrest. And Mercury, which is the planet of logic or trade, becomes overheated because of the proximity of the sun. This leads to some errors in judgment, stock market glitches, and communication breakdowns. So it's something like Venus and Mercury are not functioning well at all, right? They are a kind of doing different things because of this combustion factor. And another important thing I'm considering here is the influence of Mars, the commander. See, even though Mars is the only natural malefic in this particular sign, in this particular conjunction, he is the strongest planet in the group because he is exalted here. So in a room with 5 people, the one with the loudest voice and the most power dictates the whole mood of the room. And this is exalted Mars. So Mars is in a warlike relationship with Mercury. They are enemies. having them in the same nakshatra creates a clash of the titans kind of situation between the military, that is Mars, and the media or intellect, that is Mercury. So here the influence of Mars should be highlighted. And another important thing is Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, which is the final sign. So Saturn's mood is a kind of dissolvement, in the state of dissolution, right? So it's something like Saturn is also deciding the whole mood, and Saturn is anyways in the final sign Pisces, and that too in the sign, in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada. It's a deep karmic star. So basically this Capricorn cluster is ruled by some planet which is in the mood of dissolution. That is one important factor I considered here. To treat this particular 5-planet conjunction is a major one. And another important factor I considered here is the Amavasya energy, the new moon energy. See, the moon is benefic only when it has some light. And on January 18, the moon is at its absolute darkest, that is at 0% illumination. So in Vedic astrology, a dark moon, or Amavasya moon, or Krishna Paksha Chaturdasi, the Krishna Chaturdasi moon. Now, Krishna means the waning phase of Krishna Paksha is nothing but the waning period of the moon, where moon does not have much whiteness in it. Moon is a bit darker, right? Just before Amavasya day, that is the new moon day, you have the 14th day, that is the Krishna Chaturdasi. And the Krishna Chaturdasi moon, if you study Parashari astrology, you can clearly see the Krishna Chaturdasi moon is treated as a very, very malefic moon in that. So the Krishna Chaturdasi moon, or it's a kind of Amavasya moon, right? This is a new moon. It's basically a malefic moon. Here not only Mars, the natural malefic, but this moon is also malefic. That's what I want to point out here. So it represents the loss of emotional stability, confusion, and kind of hidden agendas, because moon is completely it's something like it has no light. This Amavasya moon, the new moon. So basically it's something like the leaders would have this kind of emotional volatility, the dark decisions. This dark moon can make the leaders to take some kind of dark decisions. And Mercury is combust, so instead of information, you have something kind of misinformation, a kind of data hacks, a kind of trade wars. And Venus is also in combustion, so collapse of some diplomatic talks. If Venus is purely present, yes, diplomacy is present, peace is present, love is present. But Venus is in combustion, so I'm seeing a collapse of diplomatic talks here. And Sun, of course, ruling the whole thing. Even all the 5 planets is in the Sun's own nakshatra, that is Uttarashadha. Thereby, a kind of harsh authority I'm seeing here. And this whole thing is ruled by Saturn. Saturn and Sun are a bit, opposites, kind of. So kind of harsh authority I'm seeing here. And Mars, of course, it is exalted. So there's a high risk of physical force. And so I am seeing this whole conjunction as a greatest reset. It is not a simple thing. If it is a simple thing, if it is just a simple conjunction, you would expect a very, very normal things. Like if this is a normal standard 5-planet conjunction, let us say in terms of government, if you think it's something like passing some minor bills, if it is a standard 5-planet conjunction. But this one is very, very impactful, this 5-planet conjunction. So instead of passing just some minor bills, I'm seeing it as a constitutional shift, or the fall of some long-standing leaders. And if you think in terms of economy, if it is a standard conjunction, a standard 5-planet, normal 5-planet conjunction, you may see a kind of market fluctuations. But this 5-planet conjunction is very impactful. So I am seeing it as a kind of, moving from some kind of, some kind of existing standard currency to some unknown currency, or shifting, the whole the migration of currency I'm seeing. If you think in terms of economy, right? It's something like, in a personal level, if you observe, in a normal five planet conjunction, you may feel a bit tired. That's it. That is the energy influence. But because of this five planet conjunction, I'm seeing a person leaving a career path that he has followed for a decade, kind of energy that I'm just explaining with some examples here, right? So this is a greatest reset, right? And I will try to compare this one with this 2022 10th February, the sixth planet conjunction in Capricorn, and which actually triggered the Russia Ukraine war. And I will also try to justify, I will justify how this five planet conjunction of 18 January 2026 can be more powerful than that. So I am expecting because of this five planet conjunction between 18th January 2026 to 12th February 2026, that's of course the first lunar cycle after the conjunction, we will see a resignation wave in global politics. So I will try to compare this one with the 2022 six planet conjunction. Thanks for watching this video.